Hey, this is PJ with CLK Supplies, and I am super excited for this interview today. This is one of our Lock Boss community members, Don with Jenkins Locks. Now, Don lives in a small town, and I'll let him tell his story. But I'm really excited about sharing this conversation with you because this is a very common thing, I believe, that goes on in locksmithing and the path forward. And I'm just really excited for Don to share his story with you. So let me go ahead and bring him in. Don, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So if you want to just start us off kind of at the beginning, and I don't know the answer to this, and so I'm pretty excited to know myself, but how did you get involved, or what interest level did you have in locksmithing?
So growing up, my parents have always had rental properties and mobile home parks. So non-destructive methods of entry was always something, wasn't always the best at, but, I think I got my first set of lock picks from the back of a magazine at like 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
And then moving back here to Indiana in 2010, I helped them out more with their businesses. But then in the last year with the pandemic and being at home, certain family members started reaching out to me to help with locksmith type services, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Okay. So it was really just at first kind of helping your family out doing the rekeying maintenance and that kind of stuff on their
car keys, stuff like that. Yeah.
Very interesting. And up until this point, what was your experience on as far as professional job that you have?
No professional experience. It was just getting into rental properties for my parents if keys have been lost or broken. I'm actually been in IT for 20 years since I've got out of the military, so this is kind of a new path for me.
Okay, so you served. Is that a Navy hat? Is that what that is?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you for serving the country. Very cool.
Thank you.
And so you did IT in the military, and then you got out of the military, and you continued to do IT stuff.
Correct.
So, to me, that's kind of exciting because with all of that IT experience and then bringing it to locksmithing, right? Like that train of thought, that training into locksmithing, have you found that to be helpful, or,
in some aspects, yes, especially with the auto programming, also with installing security systems. Everything's connected nowadays, so being able to blend the two of them has definitely been helpful.
Okay. Now, so if we fast forward to now, you have Jenkins Locks, and what type of services do you provide?
I can do commercial, I can do residential, I can do automotive. It's with being in the new stages of this, as someone requests something, a service, I see if I can do it. It's not always 100%, but I'm doing better than I'm failing right now.
Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, so how do you express that to the customer, right? So you've been in business now for what, about a year, or so?
Officially got the license and everything in September.
September, okay.
Yeah,
so we're coming up. Okay. And so you're starting to do these services, and you have some experience rekeying. It's very interesting. It's like you have the IT side of you, which would be probably really helpful for anything like security or even car keys. Yeah. And then you have the experience growing up doing the basic residential rekeying type services.
Yeah, but when I go out to something I'm not 100% confident in, because obviously I don't have the 20 years experience like I do in IT, I just be honest with the customer and saying, I'm going to try my best. I'm not 100% familiar with this lock, but if not, then I can definitely find someone to get you the help for it. So if it's not me, then I can at least reach out somewhere and get some help.
Okay. And has that worked pretty well for you? Are most of your customers understanding of that when you actually do run into those situations?
Fortunately, I haven't ran into a scenario where I was just 100% lost on it.
Okay.
It may take me showing up, a couple times and saying, I need to go back. I need to research the specs and the proper procedures. And I don't charge them extra service calls for each additional trip. I mean, that's my education, so that's on me to cover that.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds like a really great policy. And up until you saying that, I've really never thought about the fact that, like, when I was locksmithing with my dad, right, if I had a problem, I would be able just to call him up or his manager and get help. I never really thought of, what it would be like going out to a job where it's like, I got to kind of figure this out. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, it's taken a lot of going through manufacturers' models or documentation and that stuff, and really learning how to decipher.
Yes, absolutely. Now, the town that you are in is about 390 people, correct?
Correct.
So you're in Indiana, you're in a small town, 390 people. Now, you have some larger cities kind of around you, about what, half hour to an hour away type of thing?
They're all the larger cities getting up close to 50 to 100,000 residents are between 50 and 20 minutes away.
Okay.
And where I live and where the store is, it's central to all three spots. So that makes it beneficial as this being a place to keep my equipment and my supplies. So if I'm going from one town to the next, I always swing by the store because it's on the way.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Now, as far as with it being 390 people, I'm guessing that you go outside of your town to do locksmithing work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I one of the things I had to struggle with is setting up prices for service calls, because that will dictate how far away from home base I can go. And still make it.
Yeah, definitely still make it kind of worth it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is very that has to be challenging, right? That has to be challenging to kind of move around and do that. What is it like being in a small town? What would you say are some of the bigger challenges that you face when it comes to operating your locksmithing business?
Honestly, one of the biggest challenges is getting my presence out there, that people know that I'm here. We're in a very rural community, so you've got part of the population who will find me on Google or Apple Maps, but then you also have an older, more farm generation who still use their phone books that are 8, 9 years old. So, and that was one of the reasons for getting a retail space is if they can see a building with a phone number on it, they know I'm here.
Okay. Internet. Yes, that makes sense. Yes. And for everyone listening, by the way, in part 2 of this, we're going to deep dive into the retail location that he's working on. So you want to make sure you stick around for that. So, Don, when it comes to the services that you provide, I just want to try to kind of get a clear picture here. So you do residential, commercial, lockouts, and do you do automotive as well, like programming keys?
Yeah, that's actually been the majority of my business so far, is the automotive programming.
Has it really? Has that been doing origination or like just duplicating and programming additional car keys?
But the majority is cutting spare keys, programming additional ones. I haven't run across too many where I've had to try to go through the process of code cutting them yet. So that'll be a bridge I'll probably cross in the near future.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's like a whole extra skill level and commitment and all of that. So I totally get that. Well, Don, I think it's absolutely great as you're going through this journey that you're on, and that you're making a go of it, almost a full year in, which is really exciting. And we're definitely here to support you as you go through this. So it's very cool.
And you guys and the whole Lock Boss community it's really been a huge source of support and knowledge. So it's always greatly appreciated.
Yes, awesome. Yes, thank you. Yeah, like I've said many times, but like the community that we have here is absolutely amazing, and I'm proud to be a part of it. But well, great. I look forward to in our next chat, we're going to be going over your retail store and what that looks like, and I really, really look forward to that. So thank you for coming on, everybody. Thank you for listening and watching, and be sure we are going to have Don on our next live on Tuesday, and you'll be able to ask him questions and encourage him, and we're going to have a great time together. So
absolutely,
thank you everyone for watching. Don, thank you, and see you on the
Take care.
I'm guessing if you just watched this video that you work with locks and keys. And to us here at CLK Supplies, that makes you a lock boss. And we want to hook you up. Here's how it works. Throughout the week, we post videos on YouTube, like the one you just watched. And all you need to do is comment on the videos and include the hashtag LockBoss. When you do this, you're automatically entered in to win one of 5 free prizes that we give out each and every week. No purchase necessary. So if you're a lock boss, join us each week to learn, grow, and win.